How's it going, YouTube? Welcome to the Cosmic Ray channel. I'm your host, Cosmic Ray. Hello, Cosmic Surfers. So, just want to kind of give you an update from the last video, as well as I wanted to talk about something else, slightly sea virus, slightly other things. So, let me see if I can kind of get all like somewhat quickly. I do want to talk about that a little update from my last video regarding what I like to call my UFO type of experience. And with this also can be like a UFO slight, also type of, it's like even like a drone, type of experience. Now, obviously, I personally, not saying there isn't, because of course, there's different manned drones and of like missiles and whatnot, or satellites that like spy satellites that people have. However, this thing is about the size, maybe two size of like an airplane kind of thing. Like two airplanes could fit underneath this drone thing that I saw. So pretty massive, especially flying low. So it could very well have been a drone. So um, regards to that, ever since then, I don't see anything at the unordinary, experience or extraordinary experiences. Just some random things, more synchronicity than normal, to a point where I've been starting to kind of feel them out before they actually happened, which is kind of different. My kids are seeing more synchronicities, so like I don't know if it's just more like on the massive scale of others just seeing it, or if maybe it's just those who are just around myself or my reality, if you will. They're seeing this more. Um, Things have changed regarding certain, I don't know, I would say realities, in a sense. And that sounds kind of far-fetched given that you don't know what information that I'm talking about, and it's kind of hard because I'm going through certain things of my own life, so it's really hard for me to explain that to others or what that means. But just things that like happened in the past are changing now, and that's kind of a good thing, but also kind of weird how perceptions of life are changing from others who have had a different perception from before. And it's like their, I guess, mindsets, attitudes are completely changing. Things that were someone very staunchly on an idea or a belief system BS that they had, or is like changing, and it's like it's a good thing. But it's one of those like, what happened? Like what happened? So that's all I can really release of that type of information. But regarding seeing any other, like, I guess, entities, UFO, as in like alien type of UFO, I haven't seen too much. But then again, too, I don't know if I've been trying to like expect, certain things. I know you have to kind of just, not really like think about, these kind of things for when those actually happen. So I mean, kind of keep an open mind. I've had taken home that coworker before. Since then, I think at least twice now. One of them actually talked about um, my experience, and it was kind of an odd type of thing, but it's okay. Nothing that you wouldn't expect from someone, from that kind of conversation. But others have been received pretty well from it, and it's just kind of different. And the way they handled the situation is a little different than I would think as well. So that was kind of cool. So I haven't seen anything different. My dreams are getting more vivid. I feel like I've been more, I do a little bit more like what I call like my journeying, finding more things of life, getting a lot of downloads too. A lot of like those sounds coming through. A lot of just a lot of random downloads regarding like the sound wise. I'm sure if you already know what that is. If you don't, I just don't want to get into it because I always take long in my videos. But it's not like tinnitus or anything or something where you're hearing ringing sounds in your ears for extended periods of time, or you have like ear problems. Those are obviously serious conditions. So if you have that, definitely get checked. But no, it's nothing like that. So those are more like downloads. I'm sure you can do a Google search on those. So I'm getting a lot more of downloads and a lot of like visions in a sense. So regards to the UFO type experience, that was pretty much it. I will definitely update if I get anything else or feel anything else. Been getting like other synchronistic moments, but other than that, um, not seeing anything more than I normally do. Now, regarding a little bit about the sea virus, type of thing. In my neck of the woods, they are bringing close to this like secondary phase of this sea virus, and some people are getting the notion of like, oh, this is all over. So some people at my job aren't wearing like the masks anymore. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying like, oh, you have to wear these masks. Not like that. Like, if you believe in the mask, you believe in the mask. It's just because we have, we have to, kind of thing. So I'm just doing it because we have to. Definitely, it's hard to breathe. Definitely having issues. When you're wearing them over 8 hours, in a day, it kind of sucks, especially when doing physical stuff. Anyways, I digress. But regarding to that, I've always had this notion or this gut feeling that it's, I probably should have said it in a video a long time ago, but anyways, I felt like there was going to be like this, I don't know, it would feel like 2 weeks. It may be like a month or 2 months, but it's like one of those moments where, when a month goes by, you're like, oh my God, it just felt like a week. And oh my God, a month went by and you feel like time, it's going fast kind of thing. And it's like one of those things where it'll be good for like what it feels like a couple weeks, but it may be like literally like 2 months or something, or a month and a half to 2 months, where it's getting better and it's just going to get worse. And this is something that I've told some people close around me, a little bit spiritual, and that it's actually started to happen. Where in China now, it's getting where they're having like another phase of COVID kind of thing. My prediction, in a sense, was more for here in the States, but in more so like where I live in West Coast. And I feel like that's gonna slowly happen over here now, where there's gonna be a good while where it seems like everything's better, and then all of a sudden, bam! There were some random guests or customers, if you will, that I was talking to, and it was where like they felt like the same thing. I was talking, everyone's caption of the day is "Be safe, stay safe," and so as we were doing that, as ending our transaction, this guest was saying something along the lines of, when this Memorial Day weekend, comes, and which by the way, it already passed. But when this Memorial Day weekend comes, people are going to be out, and they're going to get, everyone's going to be thinking it's okay to go to the rivers, go to the lake, whatever. And of course, bam. And that was something that I've always felt way before, like they were even thinking about doing second phases or third phase or whatever it is. Or bringing in the companies that aren't technically the essential group, but yet, still obviously everything is kind of importance, but, as labeled the essential group, like the second phase, type of thing. I knew before that this was going to happen. Anyways, so on to something else. So I've had this feeling or this notion that, man, I feel like I need to turn off the lights. All right, my apologies. I know it always seems like I was trying to like set the tone or have this type of, like, ooh, make it all dark, mysterious kind of thing. It's just, I don't know, like when you feel like you're guided to do something, like you're guided to do something. So, my apologies here. So just bear with me. I'm not really expecting anything to happen. So it's just, whatever, right? Okay, so I felt lately, and that this COVID thing, kind of piggybacking what I was saying a little bit before, it's gonna come back, as in everyone's gonna think it's gonna be good. Everything is gonna be like, oh, looks like everything is back to quote unquote almost normal. Then bam, it's gonna be hitting us harder. And I don't think I put it out in a video yet what I really wanted to say, but I know I feel like it's always been important about speaking your truths, of life, regardless if you're the only one or if you say it or it's like your voice sounds a little like more softer or shaky, in a sense. You got to still speak your truths, right? And I felt that there's this thing that's coming, and I feel that something, we're obviously, this is supposed to happen for a reason, whether you feel that this was quote unquote man-made or if this was actually literally something that's just, from Mother Earth or from whatever it is. I always felt it's all relatively the same thing, in a sense. You could, if you've heard any of my videos about, dreams or dream state, or when you get certain downloads while you're asleep, how it's not really your thoughts, but you feel like it's your thoughts. Um, but those are like kind of whispers from other things that you're getting, and then when you wake up, you have like this idea that something's happening. Um, well, I feel that's all kind of the same thing, whether or not if it's one or the other, but it's still one of those, like, it was for a purpose. It was all supposed to happen for a reason, whether or not it's for good or bad. And like I said, I wouldn't want to wish the actual, this actual thing to happen on my worst enemies to go through, of life. But, it is here for a reason, and some of us are unfortunately, getting hit with this and whatnot. So, and my heart does go out to those who actually are literally affected by this. Um, but I do want to add, or do want to say that this is all happening and for a reason, of course. And I felt like something, is definitely coming along with this. And I feel like we all should be getting prepared, body, mind, and spirit for whatever is about to hit us. And I don't think it's anything cataclysmic type of event. I don't want to, like, scare anyone or anything like that. Like, I don't feel it's like a hardcore premonition. Otherwise, it'd be like, get the fuck out, type of thing. Um, but this is just more of something where just everyone needs to be prepared for, like, shock value, kind of thing. Um, just whatever that's supposed to mean to you. And I kind of share this information with one of my friends, and now I wanted to share it, with some of you, just to get prepared, body, mind, and soul for everything. Physically fit to whatever that means to you. Doesn't mean you have to look like a model or anything like that. I just mean just more than you already are. Spiritually, more than you already are. Physically, more than you are. Just healthy more than you already are. It doesn't mean you have to be, super crazy fit, super crazy spiritual, super crazy, all that. Just more than you already are. Okay, just to be better prepared. Try to eat healthier, and if you can. I feel that some of the foods that we're eating and are taking us to a different state of mind, and it's hard because some of those foods that we use as like comfort foods, and it's like we have to, like, get out of that. We have to get out of that comfort food, and I'm still guilty of having my dark chocolates. Sometimes I get stuck in the non-food food, which, like, it doesn't look like real food, but man, it tastes so good once it hits your lips, right? Tastes good going down. Then of course 15 minutes later, like, oh, why did I eat that? So I get those, I still get in those moments. And but just at least try to do things a little differently in life. Try to get out of, like, their normal habits of doing things. Not saying like, oh, well, you have a regiment of getting up, brushing your teeth, maybe meditating, doing yoga, working out, running, exercising, maybe your brain or your physical body. Oh, I don't want to change that. Not necessarily that, in a sense. You can always change it up, as in do it different times of the day or just different ones in general. But I just feel like just changing it up in life. If you are, this is like, if you have a friend or family member that labels you as lazy, just try not to be as lazy. Just maybe just a little bit less lazy. Not saying it forever, but just something. And I just think that we just all have to be prepared. And I think this coronavirus is trying to help us do that. We're all learning different things in life. We're all learning just different things about ourselves. Just maybe about our loved ones, maybe. Learning more about, like, what things you do like versus things you don't like. Maybe you like to actually do outdoor things now since you have this time. Well, some of us, not saying it, we all do. I personally feel like I have no idea. I'm not in that reality. I'm not in the oh, I'm stuck at home quarantining, because I'll be honest, it's not like I go out all the time, and I used to go to the bars when I was younger, and I feel like let's just say I partied so much that I don't think I need a party anymore. And that's not like a dig on anyone who does. Trust me, I've been there, so please do what you got to do. But it was more along the lines of, that's where I'm at, in my life, where, if there wasn't a COVID, I may be going out, maybe not. I would definitely be taking my kids somewhere different, but other than that, not really too much difference. But, with this COVID, I still work, I'm not stuck at the home, I'm always working. I'm always getting that, what I've said in other videos, like when you're stuck at that third, like the 3D Matrix type job, if you will, it's the just over broke, JOB, um, situation where you're working for quote unquote the man, or the woman, whatever it is, working for the machine really. But yeah, when you're doing that job that you're not quote unquote loving, or the job that's like not like your dream job, if you will, or the job that like puts you in a different state of mind that negatively, or puts you in a negative vibration state, or where the universe tries to push you into something good. Sometimes you do try to be positive, but you do your best to try to stay positive, but a lot of negative situations come, which, don't get me wrong, I know those are kind of like blessings to try to find your true self, try to find, your strength, don't get me wrong, I get all that stuff, it was just one of those, you just end up leaving at the end of the day, like, sometimes it just kind of sucks, like you want to do something different, which this is what the universe is trying to tell you, to go ahead. um, but with all those type of, jobs, like I've never, I don't know what it's like, doing that COVID, staying at home, kind of thing. Fortunately and unfortunately, I feel like there's part of me like I wish I was, and some of you are like, what are you talking about? I want to be at work. I part of me is like, no, like I'd rather not. um, but it's okay. It's one of those, love hate relationships kind of thing. Anyways, so there's that, and with all of this, it's happening for a reason. We just have to count our blessings that we do have, be grateful for the things that we do have, not for the grateful, or not be ungrateful for things we don't have, kind of thing. Just love what you do have, be thankful, keep showing that thanks and gratitude to whatever it is, universe, Gaia, God, creation, source. Thank yourself, thank the situation. You don't even have to believe in like the religious state, just be thankful to thankful. Just say it out loud. It doesn't matter if you feel like you're saying it to someone who feels strange. Who gives a blank? Just say it. See what happens. Maybe it might change things for you. And you're like, man, I just thankful for having water. I'm actually grateful for having water. Or like example, like I fasted today. Last time I ate was 11, maybe 10 o'clock at night, and now it's 11:30 at night the next day, and I still haven't eaten anything. And when I have that sip of water, I'm like, oh man, it feels so good. I'm so grateful for having this water, or I'm so grateful for having this food, or grateful for having whatever it is. This opportunity to be in, to be able to express myself, on YouTube, to be able to share my spirituality, with you all, and for things I'm having with my own personal experiences, of life. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for now. I'm grateful for breathing. Grateful for having experiences. Um, 100. You got 100 or 1,000, worst days of your life, but that just makes you 1,000 times more interesting. You maybe have something to say when you go out to people. You have some stories to talk about, right? So, anyways, that'll be it for now. And Cosmic Surfers, thank you. I'm grateful for you. I'm very grateful for this experience. And for those of you who aren't Cosmic Surfers, screw labels, right? For those of you who just someone who's just passing by and watching this video just because you're bored, thank you very much. Hopefully, I may help open up your hearts and minds, maybe on a new life, a new situation or reality that you may not have experienced. So, let me know.